Can't even hear it. Can't even hear the music. Y'all can't even hear the music. Y'all can't even hear the music. So you know what? It's all right. I'm having technical difficulties. Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. Um, all of my new subscribers, old subscribers, as you can see, is different. It looks different. The internet just went out. I was just telling my guest who was on the screen. I didn't even get to bring him up. Whatever. It's technical difficulty. And I look crazy. But like I said, we were having technical difficulties. We're having a storm here. Internet went out. So I am using my hotspot. But look, you got to be ready. Whatever. I would like to let everybody know that I am supported by Online Radio Box powered by Zeno FM. You can find Tea Time with Bunky every Tuesday. There's a new radio station called Rockbox FM that's on Tuesdays at 8 a.m. Sundays, Confidence Radio at 12 p.m. Thursdays at 8 a.m. on Cuzzo FM, Linda Legacy Radio, Southern Soul Gold, Culture Shock Radio, and Wapter Music and the Tattoo Shop. So that's on Zeno FM. Before we get to my guest, I would like to do a special shout out. I don't know if you can see this. This is Wanda's Daughters. I got this as a birthday gift by the Pearson sisters, the twins, Loretta and Rosetta. They make this citrus body scrub. They have this whole new line coming out. And when I say that stuff is amazing, your skin feel like butter. When you use, I've used a lot of sugar scrubs. That right there makes your skin soft and oh my God, it smells so good. And I haven't tried this yet. This is the hair and body, the hair and scalp oil. They have a beard line for the men. They have a Yanni wash for the women, getting that on tomorrow. Okay. Oh God, I'm nervous. Okay, so
so Bunky, they got something to help me with these grades though?
But no, I don't think
Okay.
it's
had
a
asked.
oil. It's a oil.
Okay.
So look, he already jumped in. Let me see if I here. No, it's okay. I would like to introduce my special guest. You know, y'all know I normally do this totally different. Mr. Catchwreck himself, Chris.
Thank you for
Rodriguez.
having me.
Listen, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. Look, I'm trying to scroll this. I never use this on here. When you commented, I said, "Oh no, say less, say less." I reached out to you. I wanted you on. I wanted you on for a long time, but I was kind of afraid to ask. That's
Why?
true.
Why? I gotta ask you that. I know it's your show, but I gotta ask you why. Like, cause I hear this a lot for people, and I don't understand.
Why? Because Chris, you're so serious. You're so serious. You're a little lot intimidating. Look, I'm over here. Look, I don't have my fan on. I don't have nothing going on. I'm stressed right now. But I know it's going to be a great conversation. I know it's going to be an amazing conversation. So tell like your second part of the Rec Boys. First part, second part. Well, it's two of you, you and Shad. I want you to tell everybody a little bit about you. A little bit about you're going to tell a little bit about Mr. Catchwreck. And then I want to know a little bit about Chris Rodriguez.
Wow, it's crazy because for me they're the same person, honestly. But Mr. Catchwreck is like the more funny, outgoing type of one, and Chris is the laid back kind of guy. But really, I'm just a family man out here with dreams and goals and aspirations, and wake up every day and chase them. And sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. You know what I mean? But I never gave up faith. And wanting to chase something. And at the end of the day, that's me in a nutshell. But on the other hand, father, husband, business owner, business partner, just out here just trying to make better. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So people don't got to go through what I went. Well, my kids don't got to go through what I went through.
So let me flag that, because that's something we're gonna hit, because you said something deep there. Okay. Was this in the studio with the Rec Boys, the whole Rec concept? Was this like your dream growing up? Like, where did you see you when you were young at the age now? Where did you think you would be? What did you see?
Uh, as a kid, honestly,
Yeah.
dead or in jail. Honestly, dead or in jail.
And why?
Um, just the path I was taking. You know what I mean? The things I was doing, the people I was influenced by, the people I was hanging out with, the things I was involved in. You know what I mean? But thank God my parents took me out of that environment and that's when I went.
Oh, he went out. I don't know if I don't think that's me. I don't know if that's me. You guys that's just tuning in, I have no, I think that might be him. I have no internet. We're having a storm right now where I am. We're having a storm. I don't know if that he was a baby's kid. I don't know. Can y'all still hear me? Am I still on? Y'all let me know if y'all can still hear me. Okay, so then it wasn't me, it was Chris. Yeah, we have a bad storm going on here right now. And I'm using my hotspot. I don't know where Chris went, but you don't see him, right? I don't see him. I'm gonna text. There we go. Wait. How come I can't get him in? I'm trying to get you in at the stage.
There you
Where you
go.
go? How don't have internet and you disappearing?
Nah, somebody called my phone. So
I'm
sorry
like,
about
what
that.
happened? Okay, so go ahead. You were talking about the path you were on. Like what?
Yeah, so growing up in Brooklyn at a young age in the 80s to 90s, you know, I was doing crazy stuff, you know what I mean, involved with the wrong people, you know, family members involved in heavily in a lot of street things and activities, you know what I mean? So it was easy to be a part of it and it was something you seen all the time. But
Mm-hmm.
where everything changed was when they took me upstate.
Okay. I know that was a culture shock.
Was it? Was it? Yeah, yeah. No buses, no trains, no. And mind you, out of all places they could take me, they took me to Jeffersonville.
Oh Lord.
There was literally
Oh
there
my
was
God.
what I want to say maybe 5 to 6 Spanish kids and five to six black kids. So it was 12 of us, and we literally stood like this all the time because we didn't know what was going on.
It's still like that.
Yeah.
It's the worst. Oh my God. How old were you when you moved up here?
Probably 13 or 14.
Oh man. In those teenage years that they
Mm-hmm.
moved you to death from Brooklyn.
Well, it saved my life, honestly.
Well, yeah. If one thing
Honestly,
Sullivan County will do is save your life because you're not getting in any trouble.
yeah,
Can't get anywhere unless you got a car.
right. But to be honest
So,
with you, I never thought about doing music. I was always into music. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Like I used to sit there on the little tape deck in the tapes, put in the corner, record, act like I was DJing, like I was that like I always wanted to be like a hype man. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Stuff like that. So I was always into Spanish music, reggae, hip hop, all different type, no country and nothing like that. So I got upstate, so I started hearing that type of stuff. But I never thought it would be music. I always
Mhm.
knew I wanted to be my own entity, have my own company.
Okay.
I
So
always
you
knew that.
always knew that, but you didn't know that it would go in the music lane, really, not doing what you do.
Right, right.
Well, let me ask you. We're gonna get we're gonna go back, but I just want to ask because you talked about the music or whatever. Um, what do you prefer? Do you prefer being a producer or do you enjoy podcasts?
Hmm. It's crazy. Now I would say more podcaster.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. Would little
cause
Chris have thought he would have been in front of so many people?
nah, nah. I never wanted nobody to know who I was.
I can see that.
Honestly, because of I didn't never like taking pictures. I was always outside. Like you would see me, but I wouldn't get in your pictures. I wouldn't hang out. You wouldn't even know where I lived unless you were close to me. Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? I was like that. So then now this was shot, honestly.
The
When I left,
podcasting.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because we had something called Catch and Rec TV. So for everybody who don't know, we got a company called Catch and Rec Entertainment where pretty much the Rec Boys started. So we had independent entertainment company with artists. Well, we started off producing, me and Rashad. And we got to the
Okay.
point to where we had all these beats. We didn't know what to do with them. We made a placement on a book trailer that a book that they were turning into a movie. That was our first thing. So we started acquiring artists because we didn't know what to do. And then time went on. I ended up moving to Florida. When I moved to Florida, everything music wise had slowed down because the studio was in my house in my basement. And then
Okay.
everybody starts, everybody's apart, everybody's doing their own thing, chasing their own families and doing what they got to do. So then one day Shaq calls me and says, yo, what are we doing with Catch and Rec? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, we got beats, we can still try to shop it. He's like, let's do the Catch and Rec TV. And I'm like, Catch and Rec TV? And then after talking about it, because we always talk back and forth, he's like, we came up with In the Studio with the Rec Boys. And then that's what got me on camera.
Now, where was Catch and Rec TV? Where were people able to find it?
That's on. It was on the internet on the Catch and Rec Entertainment. It's on our YouTube page. We only did a couple little clips.
Okay.
We have all the footage. We just never put it out.
Okay. Now let's get back to young Chris. You said your parents moved you up here when you were 13 because of stuff to save your life, basically. Yeah, do you want to talk about that? You and your brother. How many brothers do you have?
I got a brother and a sister. You
got a brother and a sister. So where do you fall?
I'm the middle child.
Oh Lord, that middle child.
Yeah, I'm a middle child.
You're a middle. Do you have the middle child syndrome? Because that's a real thing.
What, as far as like feeling like left out and stuff like that?
Yeah, you feel left out, and y'all are like y'all are in your own world. Like
I'm definitely in my own. I definitely in my own world. I never felt left out, but I always felt different. I always felt different, and I knew I was different.
Okay. So do you want to talk about what was going on? Like, personally, I can't deal with the city. That's just me. I'm scared of the city, always. So I could have never been a city person. But you being a young man growing up in the city, what were you doing that made your parents say enough is enough?
Well, with the family being heavily involved in gangs and shit like that, a lot of being guilty by association.
Yeah.
Because never once did we ever get involved with it, but people knowing who we were because of people who we were related to, it brought problems just naturally. You literally, I mean, one day we was in Brooklyn and my brother went up to Queens and we get a phone call like, yo, they trying to kill your brother. So we literally all jump in the car from Brooklyn, go all the way to Queens. And Queens is, in this day and age, is different. It was really Caucasians in certain parts, a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of blacks. But you stood in your areas, you know what I mean? So for us to be going over there to this part, like we're going to their area, you know what I'm saying? And it got crazy, like literally, put like this, the cops shut down the whole block. Nobody could leave, nobody could go out.
So they were really after him.
Yeah.
Just because of who he was.
Well, something had transpired.
Okay.
And he was around. Right. He was around people. So again, guilty by association.
Guilty by association.
With everything now, mind you, I'm going upstate at like 14, maybe 13, somewhere around there. But I got this mentality of that, and I go up there to where something is so free.
Right. It's a big difference.
So it gets worse before it gets better. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. It wasn't so much gangs. It was a lot of different narcotic activity.
Okay.
So it changed. Stuff changes, but then now it goes a different way.
Okay. That was you.
Yeah. Not so much a user. Not a user.
Not user, but distributing. Selling.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that. Being
Okay.
being and what's crazy is now looking back on it,
Hmm.
um, it was stupid, and I could say that I can honestly say that because nothing I had then do I have now,
Okay. So when
besides my wife and my kids.
so then when you were younger, what did a successful person look like to you? Somebody who was successful. Like, did you have an idea of that, or was it the money and the jewelry? Was that success to you when you like a lot of young people think that's success, but like, is that what you were striving for, or
Nah, it was crazy because I we always had like we might have not had a house, but my cousin, my uncle had bought property. You know what I mean? So like we got to see different stuff. And I always, as growing up, I'm watching this and I'm like, yo, I'm tired of like living in the projects. You know what I'm saying? Like literally I lived in the projects till I was like 9 or 10. And then we moved to Ridgewood, Queens for like 3 years. And then we went upstate. And that was the
okay,
first house I ever lived in when that was 12. You know what I mean? So
okay,
then I'm like, yo, listen, I'm gonna do what I gotta do so I could buy my house. That was the goal. I
okay,
wasn't doing I wasn't running the streets to do to do that shit forever. It was always a
okay,
goal behind it. You know what I mean? And I remember telling
yeah,
my father that, yo, I'm gonna buy my first house at 25. And he laughed at me.
that's a big goal.
But I bought my first house at 25. And I always had a job. Always had a job.
Okay, so that
So
was success. That was
no, that success was owning my own.
success, and buying your first house. You owned your first, so that's good. That's really good. Now, when did you and Shad connect?
Me and Sean connect probably to I forget what year it was, 2000 when my daughter was born, like 2005, I want to say.
And you were how old?
Ooh, I was in my 20s.
Okay, all right. And I've heard this story of how you guys connected, but some people may have not. So, want to tell how you guys connected because it's the whole catch wreck thing.
Yeah, we connected via his sister threatening me with Rashad, but it was really through basketball. That's what really brought us together was basketball.
Okay. And y'all came up with this catch wreck thing, which is what for people that don't know. I love it. I love the concept. But tell people what the REC stands for.
The rec REC means reaching everything conceivable. I don't know if I can see it.
Yeah, I see it. Now where did that come from? Because sometimes you'll be driving or you'll be laying down or you'll be doing something, and then stuff like that just comes to you. Where did that come from?
So we used to run around playing basketball town to town, and when we went around and win games, we'd be like, yo, we went over there and caught rec. So after months and months of debating on the name, we was like, yo, let's just call it Catch Rec. But us not thinking CNR, Chris and Rashad,
Okay.
you know. And
Uh-huh.
then later on, Shad came up with the acronym reaching everything conceivable. Like it really just started catching wreck.
Uh-huh.
And then Shad came up with the reaching everything conceivable part, which is the acronym for rec.
And it's you guys initials on
Mm-hmm.
the end. That's crazy. It was meant to be. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
What's crazy is the logo's right there. That was hand drawn by my cousin Jonathan. Salute to Jonathan Sosa. He hand drew that. Like literally drew us 50 different logos before we picked that logo.
And when you see it, you know it's you. It's everywhere. That
Mm-hmm.
logo is everywhere on you guys' clothes, everywhere. Like the barbershop, everywhere. Now you're a business owner down there where you live now.
Mm-hmm.
Is Rec up there somewhere? That logo?
Catching wreck?
Yeah.
No, not on mine and my wife's business now.
Okay, so that's you and your wife's business.
Yeah,
Want to talk about it? Want to talk about it?
yeah.
What
We
kind of
have
business is
property preservation company where we work with people to keep their property. Excuse me, keep their property up to par, as well as banks and minor maintenance repairs.
keeping it
So
properly up to par.
so as far as like, you got an outlet that's out. We'll come. We'll replace it. Ceiling fan, lights, painting, trim, molding,
Oh, okay.
flooring, light carpentry stuff. So I've been doing carpentry since I was 20 years old. You know, and so I'm good, and as well as fixing cars and stuff like that too. So
So,
I'm good with my hands.
so that explains the carpentry on your page
Come here.
and the DIY projects.
Right, right.
Sounds like DIY. What is Mrs. Catch Rat? I don't think I've ever seen her on the show. Hi.
Hi.
Introduce yourself to everybody.
I can't hear
You can't. It's gonna come in.
Oh, okay.
It ain't coming.
Not yet. I can't hear you. So give me one moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi.
She
Hi.
said that.
Welcome to Tea Time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, well, he was talking about you guys' business.
Yeah, we're selling about the property
Yes.
preservation
Yes.
business.
Yes.
Well, that's pretty cool. How did you guys meet? Look, I'm all in your business. Happy anniversary, by the way. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's fine. It's probably a well-known story. But we actually met. I'm from Liberty, so born and raised, and
Oh,
I had a
you're from Liberty.
yes. So I had a basketball game. I was a junior in high school. I had a basketball game at his school, and we met. The first game I had there, we met, and we've been together ever since. So that was 1999.
Yeah,
So I was
1999.
a junior in high school, and we got together.
So she basically stole my childhood, Bunky. That's what she just said.
We helped raise each other, so it worked out. It worked out.
See, I never knew that story. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. So let me ask
There's
you.
some more backstory to it, but I won't tell that on there.
So let me ask you, because like I told him and everybody that has ever seen me interact with them, yeah, he makes me nervous because he's kind of intimidating. Is he
Mhm.
who sorry, Chris. Who wears the pants in the house? Who
He definitely I always say you wear the pants, but I'm the suspender. So either way, I'm holding you up, so it don't
oh,
matter. But so he
ooh,
got the pants. He got the pants, and he can have the belt. I
okay.
got the two suspenders.
I love it.
No, but he's I think it probably will more so be me. I'm not even gonna, I can't
Yeah,
even.
I'm
I
not
won't
gonna.
throw
I'm
that
not gonna
on
lie.
him.
I'm not gonna lie to you
I
either.
won't
Yeah.
throw that on him because everything with the kids and him, he's like, babe, what should I? And the kids, mom, what should I? So everything kind of runs through me.
Yeah, she's like my secretary, wife, business
Yes.
partner, lawyer.
That's
I
how
don't
it
get to
goes.
do all the roles, but
Yeah.
yeah, I play all the roles.
And is he as mean as I had him out to be in my head, like unapproachable?
Yes, yes, he is. He is. He's unapproachable until you approach him. That's the interesting part. Once you
Yeah,
approach him, that's it.
that's
That's
true.
it.
That's
That's it.
that's true.
But it's a
So
demeanor
it's
thing.
perception then.
It's a
It's
demeanor
the
thing.
perception.
Right. But
Yeah.
no, your face though. Your face be like, don't come near me. Like that's what it's
Yes.
really scary. But you're not though. You're really
Yeah,
a
no,
really nice guy.
really, yeah, the most
Thank you.
kind-hearted
Thank you.
person, and then
Yeah.
once once he clicks with you, that's it. That relationship is forever. So pretty dope.
Okay. All right. Well, I love that. Look at inside from Miss Catchwreck because nobody knows him like you do.
Yeah,
Nobody knows him like you do.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and you guys, I saw you have you have a daughter that graduated high school, right?
Mhm.
yes. She just
So
graduated back in May.
how does that feel? Like watching your kids grow up, and I have to commend you. I have to commend you because there aren't too many couples that's been together as long, stayed together. What is like your secret? Like, what is the secret for people that are in new relationships, no relationship? Like, how do you make that work? You know, what's the secret?
I,
It
you know,
didn't work for me.
I I don't. I always say that if you're a person who is able, like I said, like he seems unapproachable, but then when you approach him and you get to know him, like it's hands off. That's your guy forever. I'm the same way. I don't like a lot of new people around me, but the people I let next to me is forever. So I feel like if you're able to kind of maintain a relationship with a person, whether you're dating them, whether it's a co-worker or just a friend, if you're able to maintain a relationship with a person, which you got to be understanding, you got to be caring, you got to listen, to one another, no matter the relationship, then any relationship that you find yourself in, it'll last, a long time. It'll stay the test of time. But there's no real secrets. Like the good part is that we grew up together, so we had to learn together. Like no one knew more than the other. So it was like we were helping each other build. So it's dope to see everything happening in life. Like having a baby, getting married, having a baby, and now she's like graduate. So it's nice to see in life, but no real secret. Just gotta keep up with the hustle, keep up with each other. A lot of sex, I guess. I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say communication. You got to be open with each other and be able to say what you got to say.
Were you ever afraid of hurting each other's feelings? Like, let me not say this because I might hurt their. Or you just look. This is what it is. We need to have a conversation. And is that how it? That how you are?
Honestly, it's like, yo, one of us should just say what we got to say. It ain't even like we got to talk, but it's not in front of it. It's always when we in the room,
right.
You know what I mean, yo, and we'll just say, oh, word, that's how you feel, and then we go into the conversation, boo, 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 whatever, and then that's it. But it's got to be, you got to be able to be open and be honest with whoever you with. You know what I mean? If you had any little thing, it's gonna be something that could be something big later.
Right. Because
yeah, you have to, I think being open and honest, but I think when you're listening to someone or someone's trying to express something to you, like it's beyond, you gotta listen. And sometimes now we get it. Like he'll be saying something to me and I'm like, I hear you. But in my mind, it's not there. It's not there yet.
2 days later. So what you told me, you were saying, I'm like, wow.
I'm not a reactive type of person, so I don't let it play in my mind. I'm like, I gotta and then I gotta internalize it, and then I'm like, okay, I get it. So you have to you have to hear each other out, and then really be like, all right, I hear you. And we always tell our son, don't say sorry if you're not gonna change. So change behavior is that's the sorry. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I got you. And if I slip up again, believe me, it's not nothing bad. I got you. It's a learning, being understanding, being patient for that learning process. Because we're all human, everyone's got to learn at their own pace.
Right. I love it. Someone told me another very great marriage, longevity, that they don't go to bed angry. Like they're not going to bed if they have a disagreement or like they upset with each other or whatever. Do not go to bed angry. Why? Because one of the other person may not wake up. Got to talk about that. So do you guys believe that? Like, don't go to bed. Like, you mad at him, he mad at you. Are y'all going to sleep on that thing, or are y'all going to stay up all night and talk about it until you can come to some?
That's harmonica. Like literally, I be sitting there. I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about it right now. I'm really not gonna be able to go to sleep until we talk about it because she's gonna sit there.
Like, yeah. So, but I think too, and then he will be like, no, I don't want to talk about it. So now I gotta be like, all right, let me just let this, die down for right now. As long as he holds me in the middle of the night, I'm okay. We can talk about everything else the next day. I'm a big, I like to text. So in the morning, because he leaves super early in the morning, if we're like upset about something, I'm like, let me text out my explanation to it, because then him as the reader of the text, he can incorporate it however he wants without my emotions behind it. So then he can internalize it on his own. He can maybe better understand what I was saying the night before. But we go to bed mad at each other, but if you don't hold me in the middle of the night, then we got a problem. You need to hold me every night. I don't care. Mad or not, you better have your arm around me.
I love, one day I'm gonna be there. That one day. Maybe, whatever. I'm not stressing it. I'm not stressing. How do you feel about, okay, no. How do you feel about the Catch Wreck movement? Because it's like, it's you and him, and it's Shad and Lindy. Like, y'all Y'all are the catch wreck people, the wreck wives. And
Yeah.
how does that
It's
feel?
at first, coming into it because he and I we've been together since high school. So catch rec wasn't thought of, entertainment
Right.
wasn't thought of. We were engaged for we got married year 5 of our relationship. So it wasn't even thought of then. So, but just like any other career and change, he's like, this is what I'm about to do. This is what we're
Mhm.
gonna work on. This is what's about to happen in our lives. And we were super
Okay.
young. Both of our kids were young. And him and Shad, they started way before Catch Rec. So the build up part of that, I was able to adjust during that part of it. Because originally it wasn't Catch Rec. So, years prior it wasn't Catch Rec, but it was still an entertainment company. So I was able to kind of adjust through the beginning part of that. And
Uh-huh.
then when Catch Rec, you know, really was a continuation of the previous company, it took off differently. But I was still right there in the making, literally in the studio, in our house, at shows, like a part of it, but behind the scenes. So I was able to grow with it and let it like kind of live on me. So it's easier for me because I was, I guess coming through it since day one. So it's a little bit different for me, whereas Lindy, that's my girl right there. That's my day one right there. That's so her, she came in a little bit after, and then that had to grow on her. And anything new, and especially in this kind of industry where it's like a lot of time given to it,
Right.
we gotta be patient with them. We gotta be understanding. They'll be on the phone for hours together, putting things together. Me and her be texting in the background like, "Child, you hear this?" So we just go right along with it. She was able to, accept it and have embraced it really well. Coming into it, and
Mhm.
I've been just letting it, accept it in and let it kind of, move our life, our motion in life, pretty understanding. So I think we're doing good with it.
Yeah, I think
So
y'all doing pretty good.
Yeah.
so Bunky, I don't know if you know,
We're very supportive.
I
For
knew
sure.
I knew Lindy before I knew Shot.
Yep. It was always
No.
been as vice versa. I, growing up, born and raised Liberty with Rashawn. So me and Rashawn, since I was little, was around each other. And then him and
Mhm.
Lindy went to the same high school, and they were friends before me and him met.
See, it was destined. Y'all were destined to be in each other's lives.
All of us, yeah.
All of that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, Chris, let me ask you. I don't know if this is like putting you on a hot seat a little bit. Um, okay, with your show in the studio with the Reg Boys, right? Let's talk about the people, the music on your show, the artists.
Mhm.
Have you had a favorite versus somebody you were like, why am I even talking to you? Has that ever happened to you?
On the show.
Yeah, like not on this. I mean, like we've all had shows where we're talking to people and we're like, why? I've
Right,
had
right.
one or two like, why are you even here? But like, have you had a favorite that you're not,
Well,
you don't want to gas them up, but like, have you had a favorite?
independent artist wise, I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you, I would have to say D Weathers out of Poughkeepsie. Like he shocked me first. His music shocked me. You know what I mean? His personality, the type of music he makes, and then when I interviewed him, his answers to the questions, his demeanor, how his grind that I noticed after that, everything that he has in place as far as his team, it was D Weathers for me.
Okay. Now, when you first started, you guys were doing the producing and all that before you got into in the studio with the Rec Boys, before you became the podcasting or whatever. So you work
Mm.
with people, right? You work with different artists.
Right, right.
So is there anybody that you think if they would have stuck it out with you guys and saw the big picture but left, do you think they would have been greater than where they been in a larger place, better place now? Because you have all the connections, you guys, everybody knows in the studio with the Rec Boys, everybody knows the Rec thing, but that started out with you in the beginning but left. Is there anybody that you thought could have been bigger if they would have just sat back, saw the vision, and continued the ride? Because you
I
guys have
got
come across a lot of people.
right. I got to be honest with you. I'm gonna say no because we all wasn't ready.
Okay, that's okay. Did you
It's my.
see? Did you see
I
you here?
say that again.
Did you see yourself where you are today? Like the wreck. Did you see? Could you have imagined it being where it is today? But you guys been
Yeah,
doing it for a long time.
yeah. I honestly by now I would have thought it would have been bigger.
Oh, okay.
Being honest, being honest, and not talking about in the studio with the Rec Boys, Catch a Wreck as a whole. So how we always seen Catch a Wreck was like Walmart. You could
Right.
go in Walmart and there's different brands in Walmart. You know what I mean? So in Walmart you could go get Surefine, you could go get Welch's grape. Like there's different stuff inside Walmart, but it's just one big store. And in that
Right.
store you could get DJ Rec Boy Shot. Now you could get Mr. Catch Rec. At that point, you could have got one of the artists. Different services that are in this store. Catch and
Okay.
Rec is just the name of the store. It's just the
Okay.
brand. It's just everything underneath this umbrella is they reaching everything to their best ability. They going to get it. They're not leaving
Okay.
nothing on the table. So that was the whole thing behind the Catch and Rec. So yeah, by now, honestly, I would have thought I, I would have hoped we were further than where we at. Not saying that I'm upset with where we at because for me, all this is new, right? Like nobody knew who I was. I had to come out, make an identity for myself. You know what I mean? Shad was already known because he was a DJ of the company. So he
Okay.
was when the artist performed, he was doing their sets. You know what I mean? Even with the beats we made, I wasn't telling nobody I was producing those beats along with Rashad. It was the Rec Boys made those.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
he's always
okay. So
been behind the scenes. Definitely behind the scenes. Never wanted any like, you know, accolade or limelight to it.
Yeah.
You didn't know that there was that what his role was. You know, so his identity to this and being as open and out in public as he's become is only transitioned over the last
Yeah,
few years.
this is weird for me,
This is,
honestly.
yeah. You know, because he's standoffish, so it's like for him now he's got to showcase himself to the internet.
I mean, again, it goes
okay.
back to what
With personality.
yeah,
So
it goes back to what I used to do, right? Like I'm coming from somewhere where you can't tell people what you're doing.
Right.
Nobody can't know what you're doing because you're gonna go to jail. Like you know what I'm saying? So
Uh-huh.
that was that it took me a while to learn that. Like, all right, yo, what you're doing, like literally what you're building is yours. Everything's legal, it's incorporated, it's tax ID, everything is being generated by this company. You could
Uh-huh.
tell the world, Chris. Like you know, like you could tell them. And it took
Right.
Tisha and everybody else, like, yo, why you won't tell them you make music? And I'm literally like, yo, relax. Like it took me a while to get used to be able to tell people, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
even now to sit here to tell anybody, yo, I'm gonna bring my wife on the show. I've never in a million years. Like you're not even gonna meet my wife until I feel comfortable, so you can know where I'm at, so you can meet her, and then it's gonna take you another year to even come to the house. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
So you had to get out of that criminal mind. The criminal. I call it criminal minded. You know, everything is suspect. You think everything is suspect. You're always looking over your shoulders, and so you're not. You had to get out of that.
now, mind you, too, I was a correction officer in Sullivan County for
Right.
I
You
want to say
told me.
for like 2 years. So
Uh-huh.
I was always trying to get out of that perceived lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like and trying to do it because I got her on my shoulder too. Like, yo, look, come on, like, come on. She was always doing the right thing. Like she always and that's why honestly I owe a lot of this to her because it was her. Like, yo, come on, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And then me always saying, yo, I want to own this property. I want to go do
Mhm.
this. And I'm telling her this, and she's going to school to learn all this. She loves all this type of like she goes to school, she went to school for accounting. You know what I mean? She worked in a bank for forever. You know what I mean? So me telling her this, and now we're coming together with I know how to go get money. Not saying illegal money, but I now, mind you, I tell you I did construction. So
Right.
I'm out there, even up there, I had a little side company. I'm out there doing roofs, I'm doing gutters, I'm doing paint, I'm doing whatever. And
Wow.
she's got her 9 to 5. I'm doing construction, working for somebody, doing side jobs. We building Catch a Wreck Entertainment. We're like, yo, what are we gonna do? She's like, okay, let's go buy that house. And literally, and I'm not lying to y'all, at 25, we bought our first house. Like I told you earlier in the show, I told my father I was gonna buy my house at 25. I literally went home, clipped the picture out of the magazine, and I put it on my wall. And I would
Did a
look at that
vision.
damn house.
Gotta see it.
Yeah.
Gotta see it.
And I didn't buy it. The house wasn't that house, obviously, because I picked out a mansion. But the layout of it was very similar to where you pull into the driveway, and that was like one level, but then you walk up some stairs, and there was another level, and that was my house upstate. You pull into the driveway, that was the studio, and then you
Mhm.
walk up a couple of stairs, and you could walk into my living room. You go up 2, 3 more stairs, kitchen, dining room, and all that. And it was crazy how it was very similar. But again, I owe it to her by showing me the way. You know what I mean? Like, yo, listen, this is how you go get the credit. This everything the guy was talking about last night on the show, she's
Mhm.
been telling me and teaching me for
Long time.
24 years. And I've been telling everybody this for as long as I know them. And they looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, yeah, Chris, we know how you got the house. Like, come on. And I'm like, no, it wasn't like that. Like, literally, I was working. I was doing like, you know what I mean? Like, because
Right.
you gotta show this to the government. They're not gonna sit here and give you no loan without you showing and proving this.
He was full of knowledge last night. He was going so fast, my head was spinning. I
He
was
was
like, what?
giving good, yeah, he was giving good
Yeah,
information too.
he really, really was. So it's because of your wife you became a correction officer?
Well, yeah, she was trying to tell me to go pick a career.
So,
Like, go do something with
Go do
yourself.
something.
Get out those streets. Go do something with yourself.
so how do you go from one end to the other end? Like, how do you?
So
I don't
I
know
had
that.
uncles. I had uncles who was military and police officer. I had two uncles who was police officer. One was a transit officer and one was NYPD. So I
Okay,
was, and those are the ones who had houses
okay,
outside of Brooklyn. You know what I mean? So now I'm going to their house in Long Island. I'm going to their house in Albany. You know what I mean? So I'm getting out of New York every once in a
right,
while, and I'm seeing bits and pieces of, yo, this is possible. Like, you could
right,
do this. What they're telling you is a lie. You know what I mean? But I'm still going back home, getting caught up in the same dumb shit. You know what
uh-huh,
I mean? And then even when I go upstate, now I'm going upstate and I'm escaping upstate to go to the city to go see, these family members, and they're in my ear. You know what I mean? Yo, do this, do that. Nah, nah. So I knew I had to pick something, but when I got with her, it was like, yo, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, I'm gonna go take the correction officer test. It's like, I think it was like $70 or something. I forgot what the course was. But I'm gonna go take the test. And I passed it. And I'm like, oh shit. They called me. And I told them, yo, I passed. They called me, they want me to go. And she's like, all right, so pack your stuff. And I'm like, oh snap. Like,
like this is
so
really happening.
yeah, like this is for real, for real.
You got a good woman, right? She changed your whole life.
I tell people that all the time. You get the right woman around you, you can take on the
Yeah,
world.
yeah, she changed your whole life.
And
I
it's
love.
interesting that it's interesting to hear because, like I said before, like I was 17 in 11th grade. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He was a senior, so we raised with each other. So to have an influence on someone like that, and I'm just learning and trying to figure it out myself. That's
Right.
thank you.
But
I'm just trying to be me.
I was like, but you had it in you already. So it was already in
Yeah,
you. You were who you
yeah,
were. You
right,
were the light that he was drawn to.
right.
Yeah, he needed you. And you needed him. That's how y'all
And
lasted.
how she said, no, how you said it was it, yeah, he needed you. Oh,
No, but I mean, like that's such a great story. You guys ought to be like DJ Envy and his wife and write a book.
And write a book. Right? Yeah, we have a lot to write about.
yeah. I gotta be careful. I gotta
But
wait. I gotta see statute of limitations and shit before
yeah,
we write a book.
a big part of it is support. You know,
Right.
you have to be supportive. You know,
Right.
and he has future endeavors and dreams and goals, and then I have mine. You know, and they may intertwine with each other. They may not. You know, when they do, we make it happen. Like our company down here.
Now,
We
oh,
just
not to cut you
support.
off. And through the middle of doing all that, now we building a company a lot. We moving to Florida. She's going to get her master's degree. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when I'm saying, like, know
You got a
what you
good
want,
one.
know what you want to go get. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And know the end goal. Like I tell people all the time on the show, you could want everything in the world, but if you don't know how you're gonna get there, you're never gonna
Right.
get there. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
and it's okay. And like when we tell our kids, especially like our son, he's about to graduate in 2 years. Our daughter just graduated. you know, and I'm like, whatever you want. Like, I was young. I went into the military. I joined the military when I was a junior in high school, and I did it a split op. So I came back home to my senior year, and then I went back out. And I'm like, I want to join the military. So I joined the military. I want to get my bachelor's degree. So I'm like, if you want it, the first step is to take the first step. Just do it. Just go for it. You know, just so when he's like, I want to open an entertainment company, I'm like, who's rapping? Like, who are you talking about? And he's like, this is the plan. This is their plan. I'm like, do it. We're already here. It's already around us. You might as well do something with it, but just do it. You know, and however I can support, I will. And then when, you know, there's parts I'm like, all right, how about we do something differently? Or if it's not really feeling like, I'm like, how about this? I never like give an opinion. I just am suggestive.
Right. But the key words he said there was when she asked me who's gonna rap. We know at that point, between me and Shy, oh, this is what we doing. Boom, 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 boom. Like, again, know what you want, know how you're gonna get there, and know where you're going.
Right.
Like, we always knew, and that's, you know, again, with Catch a Wreck and with us as what you call it. Like, we know what, yeah, all right, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, how we gonna do it? What do we need? This is all going on paper. Blah, blah, blah. Nowadays on the computer. Blah, 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 blah. We hash it out. But all right, this is the goal. This is what we're doing. Blah, 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 blah. And then we going.
And let me tell you a short backstory. So Soul Entertainment was prior. That was the prior company. And then Catch a Wreck. And they couldn't figure out a name for Catch a Wreck. But they didn't want it to be Soul Entertainment anymore. Because that was before. You know, that was early 2000, 2001. So when we bought our house up there, and then we had the studio, it was a basement then, it was just a basement. Let me tell you, it had dripping water. It was crazy looking. We had a little pool table in there, and him and Shy was in there with 1,001 Corona bottles, playing pool, writing down names for this company on this pool table, scratching it out, like literally throwing it against the wall.
With this.
Trying to figure out.
You still got it.
And I'm like looking around, I'm like, this is like a movie situation where we like in some crazy dingy basement trying to figure out life, trying to get this entertainment company popping. This is some empire story. And then come over Catch a Wreck. I remember the night. I remember everything. Catch a Wreck. I was like, oh, that's good. I was like, I actually helped you guys with that, so I'll take some credit. Thank you.
And that's the hardest part for a lot of people, I think, taking the first step. Because you know what you have to do. You know what you have to do, but it's really stepping out on faith, because you're like, okay, I have these dreams, I have these ideas. Once I take the step, I know I can't stop. Now it's starting. So you have to have the faith that it's going to work, because otherwise your dreams are crushed, and some people may just melt into a puddle and never get back up.
Right. So, but they can't forget, a dream is only something you're not working on.
And you have to, and the work, you have to work. I think that's when I became not so afraid of you. During my first, I think I was on your show. Yeah, I was on your show for the first time. And Shy told you that I write everything down. And I happened to have my notebook with me, and I showed you. And then you was like, oh, I think that's when you said, okay, she's for real. She's not playing. I think. I could be wrong. I think that's when you took me a little serious. Yeah.
Yeah. No. It was how structured you was.
Like, okay.
How you knew. Like, I could tell you knew what you wanted. You just you was trying to find how you was gonna get there.
Right. And you guys, you and Too Humble. I give you guys. You guys helped me throughout the beginning stages and now. The Wreck Boys, I go to y'all. I go to you guys. But you guys helped me out totally in the beginning, because I didn't know. I knew what I wanted, but I had no idea how to go about it. You know. Right. But watching you guys
too, like watching you, you know, on your live. From the time you started, you know, you took the step. You know, you were probably not a camera person, and
no, I'm so shy.
And now look at you.
I know. On here looking a mess.
You took the step, but you're camera comfortable. You know, you're able to have that. You know how to structure. You know how you want it to be. And you're doing it. You know, from the first day. So that's
you just had to do it. So to answer John, job done. You just had to do it like Bunky. She got to where she's at by doing it. And
By
over
doing it.
time, she has gotten better and better and better, and she will continue to get better and better and better. It's repetitions at that point. The problem is people, and not you, but people in general,
Right.
they're scared because they don't believe in themselves.
Right.
It come down to us. Like, you gotta know that you got it in you, and believe in it. When you believe in yourself, how it projects off to everybody else is powerful as fuck. But you just gotta believe. Like, literally, I could go to somebody right now and I could start talking about Catch a Record in the studio, and how I'm talking and telling it to them, they know damn well, like, I'm bleeding this. You cut me, you probably get a CR coming out. Like, you're gonna know that by the time I'm done talking to you. And it projects to people. You know what I mean? That some people get intimidated by it because I might come off too strong about it and my beliefs. Because I'm like this. Like, I learned now, I can't want something more for somebody else than they want it for themselves. So, like how Tisha alluded to.
You say it all the time. You say it all the time.
Like how Tisha alluded to earlier. Once you in and you next to me, I'm gonna try to give you everything. Like, if I can, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna do everything I can for you. And then sometimes that's my downfall, because it might come to a point to where that person don't want to make that next step, but I know they could do it, and I know it could happen, and I'm trying to push them over that. But then I get to my point, so I'm like, you know what, F this. Like, come on, B, we right here at the water. All you gotta do is, like, literally put your hand down, take a little scoop, and we good. You know what I mean? And that's my downfall. But it took like her cousin Kareem used to tell me, yo, listen, sometimes you gotta lead a nest. Yeah. You gotta lead a nest. You know what I mean? And for me, that nest was Sullivan County. I had to leave.
Oh God. I
had to leave to get to where I'm at now. Not saying I would never go back. I'm saying I don't want to go back. Not saying I never will. I don't want to go back, but not saying I never will, because I don't know. I might get a couple million and I might go buy up the whole town. Like, that's a goal.
Do it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a goal. Like Mike Epps just did that for some people who don't know. He just went and bought up his old block, the whole block, and redid the whole block. Now he's renting apartments. Yeah, now he's renting apartments out to people.
It's amazing.
It is.
That's a wow way to give back. Way to get. But I just want to remind people, let people know that I'm looking kind of crazy and there's no background because right before the show started, I let Chris know we were getting ready to experience a storm. Oh. And right when I said that, it was a boom and my internet went out. So I'm using my hotspot on my tablet. So that's because I was not gonna not let this show happen. See, that comes with experience too. Like, you got to figure it out, and I had to figure it out really quick.
Right.
Because we was having this conversation. I wasn't right. It's like, so am I making you feel comfortable? Do you feel?
Yeah. Because I'll be honest, this is only the second interview I have ever done. Like, somebody finally TV was the first one. And then now you, and this is the first interview I ever bring my wife on. Like, we got a show called the Bedroom Chronicles,
and I can't watch that because
yeah, but no, it's not really, it's not that type of talk. It's more just like relationship type stuff. How you were just asking us, like how we got to what you call it. But we might touch on some royalty stuff. Actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's how I had a 4-year-old. I had a 4-year-old. That's why I'm running around with a 4-year-old. I used to tell people, what I'm telling you on the show works. That's why, and I would call Charisma in the room, like, this is why Charisma's here. Like, we're joking around, but yeah, now we got like a relationship type show that we did. Yeah.
But a more, open, because people, one, people are curious, but two, like you asked before, like, how do you make it happen? They just have questions, and sometimes it just leads down to that conversation where it's explicit, and sometimes, it's just a normal conversation on relationship happenings, what we talked about during the day, what made us laugh, what made us like scratch our head or whatever. And
so y'all bringing it back
around that. And we always talk about it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm the shy one. I'm the shy one. So I don't like this is I'm sweating. So I'm not. No. He's already been like in front of the camera, so he's like, let's do it," and he's so ready, and I'm like, I don't know.
You're a natural.
If we do it. For me, it has to be like time limit. I don't want to be an hour on there. Like, ask me 4 questions and I'm done. But we will. I people ask for it, so eventually we may.
Yeah, I mean, like with me, well, no, you're doing chronicles and people, you have to interact with people. See, I don't interact only because I don't want to interrupt the conversation flow. So yeah, this is totally different. You guys have to. Yeah, they may ask you some crazy questions. They
Yeah.
Mhm.
might get a little bit super. I know, like now that I really know what it's about. Before I was like, no, I can't watch that. That's not a relationship. That's not.
Mhm.
But I will watch it. So
Yeah. Yeah. And
yeah,
it's good. It's good. For the most part, it was, advice driven.
Yeah,
and
it was
people
it
need
was
that.
Right.
it was a good
Right. And then
conversation.
I would say, yeah, and then people give us, advice, whether in the comments, and, I'm always, receptive. So, we learn from each other and everyone else. So it was a good conversation when we were doing it.
Mhm.
Well, y'all doing it, so it's like, what advice could I mean? Like at this stage of the game, what could somebody tell you? Like,
I think, a lot.
Everything,
I'm gonna say
everything,
a
yeah,
lot. Yeah, we
everything.
still have a lot to learn from. Yeah, like, you know, there's relationships out there, 30 years, like, 40 years. I need advice from them. Like,
and you know what? Thinking about it, when I just said that, I'm like, no, because they're going to go through another phase that they're going to have to adjust. So no, you're going to need people.
yes,
Not because you're getting older and
right,
things change. Yeah, no, you're going to need
right,
somebody
right.
to
Yeah.
make
You
And
sense.
couples, even couples around us, our friends, family who are in relationships, everyone goes through something. So it's like, what do you do? So
Mhm.
just being able to be receptive to that, because you're gonna need advice just as much as you could give advice.
Uh huh.
And so it's a big deal. But each stage, every season there's something. You gotta roll through the weather, roll through the punches.
Yeah.
I love it, Chris. I love it. Oh God, one day I'll have that. Chris, where do you see you thought you would be a little bit bigger than you are, but everything happens in its time in its season. Where do you see Rec down the road? Like, what do you see for the business?
Definitely a network. I'm not gonna elaborate too much, but definitely some type of podcast
Television?
net. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
De- definitely some along those lines. Continually getting back into producing of the music, and I don't know. I don't know if I want to chase artists again, but I'm not
Mhm.
canceling it out either. But
Okay.
definitely expanding on the company and again building that Walmart that I was talking about earlier. Is the thing is trying to it's crazy because when you're trying not saying help people but, or let's say work with people,
Hmm.
sometimes they can't grasp the idea of being under something. You know what I mean? They feel like all right, I could go and I could have my product in Walmart, but why would I put it in Walmart? I shouldn't use Walmart, the corner store,
Uh-huh.
when I could go try to get it in Walmart. And let's call Walmart the bigger brands. You know what I mean? Not understanding that you could make just as much noise in that corner store and just as much money in that corner store because it's all privately and independently owned, which means you
Right.
probably same thing we used to do with our artists. None of the artists we had signed to our entertainment company were signed to where they were giving away all their rights to their
Hmm.
music. They actually owned a part of Catching Wreck Entertainment. In the contract that they signed, they owned uh, percentages of the company.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? So when you're doing stuff like that with people and they don't understand business,
Yeah.
everybody wants something now. Like literally, I could go right now probably and go sign another podcast for a couple $1,000. But if I went and told them, yo, listen, I'll give you these points. You come right now. Know what you call it, sign this paperwork. Not gonna pay you nothing, but these are the points you're gonna get. This is da 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 da, and break everything out to them. They would
Mm.
take the money before they did the contract. Everybody wants instant gratification. Nobody wants
Right.
to go out here and work and go get it. They want everything now.
Yeah. No,
You
that's
know what I mean? And
not
that,
how
and
it
that's for
works. Yeah.
anything. Like literally, like I said earlier, we bought our first house at 25. We're now on our third house that we purchased that we own. You know what I mean? But as I'm doing all this, I'm telling everybody how to do it.
Right. And they're not
I'm running.
listening.
Yeah, I'm running to my people. Yo, listen, babe, tell them how to go get the loan, how to fix their credit, how to work the credit cards, how to go to the bank, get secure credit cards to build your shit. You know what I mean? Like my kids. My daughter's 4 years old. Her credit score is like 600.
At four?
at 4. And I'm telling people how to do this. And everybody's like, it don't work like that. I'm telling people, go open a business and funnel your own check through the business. And pay your kids, get that time. You can't do it. I'm looking at them like, what? I'm telling you because I'm doing this shit. Like,
right. And your wife knows all this stuff. Yeah, people, yeah. I'm scary. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, oh my God, am I gonna get in trouble for doing this? Like, I'm that person.
No, I'll give you one right now. So one day my wife comes home, she's like, we got to work on the kids' credit. Because now, again, my daughter at this point is probably like 14. My oldest is like 14. And I'm like, how are we going to work on their credit? Like, I'm not putting the light bill in their name. I'm not messing up their credit like, our parents used to do and shit. She's like, no.
Right.
She's like, no, we'll put them on our credit card. And I'm like, put them on your credit card. Like, you could sign to where your kid, go ahead, babe, I'll let you explain it.
Yeah, you just add some, not all companies do it, but most do, and you could just add that minor. You're adding that minor to the account as an authorized user. So it's really that simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably like the simplest piece of advice that, as far as helping, your child at least. But the part of it is if you're not managing your credit cards or your own debt, don't do that to your kids. Like, just, they will get it at 18 when it's time. But if you're, credit savvy, have the credit, and you have that financial stability, so to speak, or wherewithal, at least, you add them out to your credit card as an authorized user. The card's going to come in their name, put it away, lock it up, and that card now reports on their credit. And as an authorized user, you're getting points. You're getting points. So it builds your credit.
Never knew that.
One credit card. I'm a credit. My career is I'm a credit analyst for a financial institution. So and I'm looking at people's credit and doing their financial reviews as an underwriter. One credit card. You have one credit card in there, authorized user. Kid is 18. They got a 732 score, and there's only one thing on the credit report, and that's that card. You just have it out there. So right now, from like our oldest, since 14, she's been an authorized user on our cards. And as we're making those payments, it's building her score. As we're maintaining that line, it's helping her out and building her score. But like I said, the biggest part is take care of yourself, and then you're going to be able to take care of them. So you have to take care of yourself because you have to be able to maintain that account. If not, you're going to mess yourself up and the kid up.
So people think all the time, yeah, I got to work so hard, I got to do all this to get this money, so when if I die, this is what I can leave my kids. The value of that dollar these days ain't shit. The best thing you can leave your kids is credit.
Credit, yeah.
The best thing you leave is really, I think, of course, wherewithal about credit, about having financial money management. When you pass, they can't use your accounts, so they have to learn how to maintain their own accounts and have that financial, wherewithal. So one, educating them, at least showing them or letting them see how you're doing it. Like our 5-year-old, I'll be at our dining room table doing my spreadsheets and whatnot and paying bills and doing everything. She's like, you're doing your bank book? Like, so at 5, she realizes that I'm doing something with money and don't mess with money right now, paying bills or whatever. So she gets it. You just have to show them.
At 5.
Or have, by example or by just teaching,
My son at 14 was doing ours.
Yeah, and I was like, you want to get paid? He kept asking for things. I'm like, you want to get paid? You want a job? You can do my spreadsheet. So I told him how to, look at the stuff I was paying out and look at my deposits coming in. And he was writing on my checkbook. He was doing it. But then he was like, okay, I'm over this. Like, just give me money. This is too much work.
And kids aren't taught that. I know I was not taught about money growing up. Right. So the fact that you're having that conversation.
It was through, living and learning. Because we're not taught, and if we're not shown, if we're coming from a place where, my mom, she was taking care of me and my sister. She had to work. She worked at the ARC forever in the day. So she was working.
I was at ARC.
Yeah, she was a worker. She had to work hard and, and maintain us so we could get by,
Right.
You probably know her mother. Her mother, Angela Gamble.
I know the Gambles.
I would say you probably know them as like assistants.
Wait. She got sisters?
Gotta know them.
Yeah, my aunt Yvette, God rest her soul. My aunt Maria. Mom, Rowena, there's 8 of them. So,
Probably by face. If she worked at ARC, I worked at
oh
ARC
yeah,
in '94. I started in '94 at ARC. And everybody in those things know each other. ARC, New Hope, Crystal. Everybody
yeah,
knows each other, so I know.
yeah,
Because when you said you're from Liberty, I'm like, I think I
yeah,
know her family. It's like
yeah.
my
My
sister worked in Liberty.
dad's family is from there. I'm a Fields. My dad is a Fields. I'm a Fields.
You're a
So
field.
yeah, my dad is JoJo Fields. So he's my uncle Tyrone's the baby. That's his older brother. So you know Tyrone. You know my father,
Yeah. What's your grandmother's name?
Sarah.
Sarah Fields. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. She's actually my sister's godmother.
Really? Wow. Wow. That's
Wow.
insane. That's insane.
Crazy. Wow. Look at
Yeah.
that, Chris. Look at
Mhm.
that. Wow. You know what? I gotta have y'all on again.
Absolutely.
Can
Let's
I?
do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely.
All right, because look, you have the two of you as a couple can help everybody. Um, you're you're such an inspiration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate Chris you bringing her on as a surprise and the first time ever, first time. Um, yeah, because my phone's probably gonna die. Remember, I have no
You're
internet.
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, but we made this happen. We
You
made this
made it
happen.
happen.
Mhm.
You made it happen.
I appreciate y'all so much.
Thank you
Anything
for
else you
having us.
guys want to say before I let you go? Chris, shout out, let
No.
everybody know when they can catch in the studio with the Rec Boys and where else they can
Well,
find you.
actually, tomorrow you can catch us on Culture Shock Radio, Tattoo Shop Radio, WAP the Music, and ooh, help me out, Bunky. I'm forgetting the last one. WAP the Music.
Kizzo,
Oh, the tattoo radio shop. The
are you
links are
guys
all in our yeah. Oh, Kazo FM. There you go. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Kazo FM. The links are in our bio. Check us out there at 12 in the afternoon. Catch us live next Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And don't forget Saturday nights, 8 p.m. Blazing Up Radio.
And make sure you guys like, follow, share, and subscribe. I mean, it's everything hip hop, right? Basically
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Basically. We
And if you
haven't had
don't want to get in
nobody.
trouble, don't play those
Maybe I'm
games.
in, yeah, no, maybe I'm intimidating them because we don't get different other genres of music reaching out. So maybe I have to, reach out to a couple of them and try to get them
Like,
up
That'd be
in there.
wonderful.
what other type of genre? Would you have a
I would
gospel
do,
artist?
yeah, I would do
Really?
gospel. I would do. Probably the only thing I wouldn't do is like hard rock or metal
Oh,
because that's not like you know what I mean. I can't. Some of it I can, some of it I can't.
okay.
But other than that, we're open to any artist. Really, anybody independent who's out here trying to be, who be their own boss and go chase the goal and the dream. That's who we want on the show. They
Okay.
don't necessarily have to be artists. It could be a business person. It could be
Okay.
somebody who knows about credit, somebody who does hair, somebody who dances for a living. If they're out there just going and doing them and reaching everything conceivable, we want them on the show.
Wanda's daughters. Okay, I'm gonna talk to them. Yeah. The ones I was talking about with
Yeah.
this stuff right here is like, oh my God, your skin feels like butter. The citrus, oh my God, it's amazing. And they're right here in Monticello. They're right here in Monticello.
Nice.
Yeah, they'll be on the show. They were on the show, but they weren't talking about their product. So it is 8:09. So I would like to thank you guys again for coming on. I would like to thank everybody for tuning in. Once again, you can listen to Tea Time with Bunky on Zeno FM on Sundays at 12 p.m. on Confidence Radio, Tuesday at 8 a.m. on Rockbox FM, Thursdays at 8 a.m. on Cuzzo FM, Linda Legacy Radio, Southern Soul Gold, Culture Shock Radio, Wap the Music Radio, the Tattoo Shop Radio, and your favorite podcast platforms. I'm out there. So and the Rec Boys are out there. They're my brothers, my little brothers, because I'm older than y'all. So I'm older than y'all, and I appreciate you. Look, I can't even. Retta is on. Look, she's on. Yeah, we're gonna get Yeah, we're gonna get that would be a great conversation for you guys. They'll be back on my show, but I'm definitely gonna talk to them since I don't know how your audience will feel though about it not being music.
No, because we'll always incorporate the music with our show. We'll play the videos like we normally do. We'll do the trivia. That's the great part about what we do, which is why we built the show the way we did it. You know
Okay.
what I mean? We just didn't want it a whole conversational piece. If you really think about our show, it's almost like a TV show. It's broken
Yeah.
up into segments, and we have different segments that we could switch and move around to appease any guest that's on the thing. But it always and every time you watch in the studio, you're gonna see music videos. There's
Yeah.
gonna be music because that's the
Yeah.
whole premise of it. It's trying to help the artists, help brands and everything too, because we sell ad space, commercial space, and all that stuff too. So it's trying to help those brands be seen and heard. That's the biggest thing we're trying to do. Everybody who's out here independent trying to get it. We're trying to get y'all on the platform. Because think about it, like Bunky, I don't know if you spoke about it, but we touched in 163 countries just
Oh
on
yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't.
the
I didn't
VGN.
which is
And you are
crazy.
too.
This is
Yeah.
nuts. Yeah, that's crazy to me.
And
That's
then on Saturday night, we touching 179 with Blazing Up Radio. And then that's not the YouTube, that's not the
right.
Spotify, the Apple, the like powers in numbers, people. And that's why I alluded to earlier the Walmart. Like at some point, it's gonna be Walmart for real.
Yeah. I mean, like you want to be heard, you want your product out there, whatever you want people to order online or whatever, you need to really like hit one of us up on our platforms because we're all over the world. We're global. We're all over the world. So
But
all you
it's
can
only
say.
gonna put it's only, and people get this all messed up too. They think they can just throw a couple dollars at something and it's gonna just automatically go everywhere. It's gonna be the work they put in as well. We could
Yeah.
blast this to the world, but if you're not telling nobody, like I tell
Right.
people all the time, like I tell Shad this and I tell my wife this, yo, listen, I could tell your friend about the company we had that we could go paint her house and do whatever, and she's gonna be like, oh yeah. But if you tell her, it's different because you had that relationship with her.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it works with this too. Like I tell people all the time, like today when I shared the show, my man said, yo, should I share it? I'm like, yeah, share it. He said, why? I'm like, yo, how many friends you got? He's like, oh, like 100. I was like, so you put it to 100 people, 10 people watch it. Those 10 people share it. Another 10 people. That's 30, 40 people within an hour.
Yeah.
That's what we need. It ain't everybody. We need the little sprinkles here and there. And that's how you touch the world.
You're always so full of good advice. You just that's the seriousness. I think that's the serious. And when you say it, like there's no smile, there's nothing.
Yo, because I believe it, Bunky. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, people be looking at me like I'm crazy. And,
Yeah.
and again, everything I did before, I apply with this too. And maybe that's why, because as I'm saying this, like I'm aggressive because I believe it that much. And I'm so aggressive because if I could get you as aggressive as me, we could go take something else over. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Or maybe not as aggressive, but as intense. Yeah. And let me rephrase that because I'm not aggressive. I'm just intense. It's like, yo,
Yeah,
listen,
yeah,
like
you're
I
not,
tell her all the time.
you're intense. You're serious.
Yeah.
You're like,
I'm serious, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, no,
And
yo,
that'll
listen.
be my goal over the
No.
next.
Like, mind you,
get them to loosen up, be a little soft.
like mind you, right? Even right now, I'm a production superintendent of a manufacturing plant. I've run over 103 employees.
Are they
I'm like
scared?
this, huh?
Are they
No,
scared?
what's crazy is because as they
Okay.
get, when I initially started, yes, but now that they know me and they know
Right.
why I'm so, like, literally, if I'm on your ass, pause, it's because I see something in you.
It's passion.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And if I see something in you again, I go out my way to, like I tell everybody in the job, my goal is to teach y'all how to take my job.
Right.
And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I
That's
can't
the job
leave.
of a good supervisor. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm like, I can't leave or take the next position up in the company if I don't have my replacement.
Right. Exactly. Your goal is to make them great. They're supposed to know everything you know. Like that's how I was as a supervisor. Everything I know, by the time I leave here, you should know what I know so that you can do what I do and teach somebody else and go further. That's my attitude
Right.
about it. You know, some people
I
are
feel like
selfish.
I feel like if I leave this world without telling people what I know, then what I was here for.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the type of person to know how to do something and not tell nobody. That's not me.
That's true. I've gotten that from you. That's true. That's
Now
true.
you might pay for it. But
Well,
that's just the hustler in me, and I got bills to pay. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna hold it back. You know what I
right.
mean at all. And if I mess with you, you're gonna know what I know, and I'm looking to know what you know. Like you know what I mean. And we just gonna keep going.
Yes, work together. All right. Well, look, we're gonna end this time. This time we're gonna end. It's 8:15. So I appreciate you guys again. So you all that's on, make sure you tell a friend and share, like, comment. Well, people have been commenting. I appreciate you. It was so wonderful to meet you.
Oh,
And the
thank you very
crazy
much,
fact that
Lucy.
I know your family. That's crazy. Um, and you guys again, forgive the appearance of tea time today. I have no internet. So you all be great. Tune in next week. I have your guest, your old guest, Chris.
Who you got?
I took her from your show. I didn't take her from your show. I was interested. Play Simone will be on next week.
Oh, very talented singer out of Texas.
Yes, her voice was amazing. So you guys tune in for that. That's next week. And then after that, the 21st, I have a correctional. His name is Steve Fisher. He's a correctional advisor, right? He impersonated an FBI agent.
Wow. Wow.
So that's going to be an interesting show. That's going to be an interesting show. So the 21st, you guys, did some prison time. You know, going to be really interesting. Going to be really interesting. So you guys have a wonderful night. I'm ending now. I got to call it a night. So
All right.
I'll talk
Have a
to
good
you.
night.
Bye-bye.
All right, have a good one.
Safe evening. Bye.